Hello and welcome back to lesson 2 in the hardware topic, and in this lesson we're going to see how a computer turns data into information and the steps that it goes through. Now, I've mentioned two terms there. One is data, one is information. Data would be things like words or numbers, but they don't have any relationship, there's no meaning, there's no context. It's basically unorganized, like a piece of the jigsaw. So we might get a student's test results. It tells us something of the student, but it doesn't tell us anything about how the class might have done or found the class average. Information, on the other hand, is where the computer has gone and done some work on that data. It has done some processing. And what has come out through the output is information. Information is stuff which is organized and structured. It's presentable. We have meaningful knowledge of it. We can understand what we've put in. So where with data, let's say we put in all the student results, those pieces of the jigsaw, the computer can go do some calculating and help us find the class average, or some sorting and find out what is the best student or the worst student. And that is shown as information, say in the form of a graph. So when we look at this diagram here, we can see that there are three main stages all computers go through. There's the input, and you'll remember from the last lesson we had keyboards and mouse and scanners to basically put data into the computer. The data can now have work done on it because the computer is doing some processing. That doing work is things like sorting and searching, calculating and graphing. From there, we can turn that, has now turned into information, which is shown through the outputs, like a printer or a monitor, say. And it becomes meaningful because it's now information. This box is very important. It's the storage. And the processing can record or recall something from storage, and it can put things into storage. So we have these three main steps, but storage is just as important. So let's have a look at some examples about how this works. So here are the examples. Let's have a look at them. So here are our stages: input, processing and output. And here is one that we mentioned earlier, the idea of a pupil score. The pupil scores, or their test results, work is done on that data and calculating is done on that data to produce, say, a class average or anything else that we would want. Another example is a scanned barcode. So the shop assistant goes around with their scan reader. Once that information has been put into the computer, then some work can be done on it, such as searching in this case. And you are able to have the scanned barcode and be able to have a price related to that particular product. And finally, we can have a singer who may have some off notes. They're a bit flat or a bit sharp. But technology comes to their rescue because the computer can calibrate to figure out and to sort out those duff notes. So it can adjust the pitch of those notes to produce a perfect pitch. So what comes out of the speakers is the singer's perfect voice because of technology. So what we want to think about in this lesson is to come to an understanding about what is data, what is information, and that all computers go through three particular phases: input, processing, and output. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next lesson. Bye-bye.